Thank you for joining us today. You are tuned into Greater Acquaintance Missionary Baptist Church, located at 6758 South Wabash Avenue in Chicago, Illinois. I am Pastor Kevin Wilks. Please turn with me to the book of Micah, the 7th chapter. We are looking at verses 8 through 10. Micah, the 7th chapter, verses 8 through 10. Micah, the 7th chapter, verses 8 through 10. And for those here in the sanctuary, please remember the page number is always right there in the bulletin. It's always right there in the bulletin for you. Micah, the 7th chapter, verses 8 through 10. Can someone be kind enough to share with Sister Sinicia? And it reads as such: Rejoice not against me, O mine enemy. When I fall, I shall arise. When I sit in darkness, the Lord shall be a light unto me. I will bear the indignation of the Lord because I have sinned against him, until he plead my cause and execute judgment for me. He will bring me forth to the light, and I shall behold his righteousness. Then she that is my enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her which said unto me, Where is the Lord thy God? Mine eyes shall behold her. Now shall she be trodden down as the mire of the streets. May the Lord add a blessing to the reading of the word for the edification of our souls. Let me hear you just shout real loud, I rise!
I rise!
Oh, that ain't good enough. I rise!
I rise!
One more time, I rise!
I rise!
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
I rise.
There seems to be so much evilness that is going on in the world today. And as it spreads, it seems to be accepted. It seems to be applauded. It seems to be praised. And not by just those who we know do wrong, but those who we thought were good, upstanding individuals. Those people who are chosen to lead and look out for the people. Those individuals who are paid to protect the people. We have a government that 1 year votes for equal rights. A government that 1 year votes for the financial stability for all. The assistance for the disabled and elderly. Will vote for the rights for people of color. Then they turn around and vote against their vote. They say we believe in the Constitution, but then they go totally against what the Constitution stands for. They are against certain topics being correctly and honestly taught in schools because they don't want to hurt certain people's feelings. They don't want people to have access to voting in fear that they will be voted out of the office. They complain about what somebody wore or where somebody was born, but yet they praise someone who threatens the entire country should they not get their way. Oh, it was fine when crime was being committed in certain neighborhoods. But when those crimes moved into their area, now it's a problem. We claim this country is a democracy, one for all and all for one. But that's only if the people we are talking about look like them, act like them, have as much education as them, think like them, believe like them, and have money like them. Micah is the first of the minor prophets. He was prophesying to the people at the same time that Hosea and Isaiah were prophesying throughout Israel. Micah prophesied during the reign of Ahaz, Hezekiah, and Manasseh. He witnessed the evilness that was taking. He witnessed the downward spiral of Samaria and Jerusalem. Micah watched as these two great places allowed wickedness, sin, and idolatry to take over. Money from prostitutes was used to finance the cities. Dishonest practices were common among the leaders. There was illegal activity, corruption, and worshiping of idol gods. Everywhere you looked, there was disaster. And God was not pleased. Micah predicted the punishment that God was going to place on Samaria and Jerusalem. He predicted their downfall. He predicted their destruction. But Micah also knew who he served. He knew that God held all power in his hands. Just as God could punish and destroy, he also had the power to uplift and restore. Micah knew that God was full of grace and mercy. In chapter 5, Micah talks about someone who would come from a little town called Bethlehem. One who would rule over Israel, who would shepherd his flock and would be their peace. Micah says the remnant of Jacob will deliver them. Micah was telling them about the same one Isaiah said, for unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. Micah was talking about that man named Jesus, the deliverer. Jesus, the waymaker. Jesus, the rock in a weary land. In chapter 7, as we read, Micah then turns to the enemies of Israel and says, don't gloat. I've fallen. But as sure as I've fallen, I'm about to rise up. I've been in darkness, but the lights are about to come back on. Micah knew that God's people were not going to be down long. He knew that God would one day give them victory. I'm telling you today, quit holding your head down. Quit looking ashamed. Quit looking embarrassed. Quit looking defeated. Quit looking lost. Quit looking broken, because you, the child of the Most High King, are about to rise up.
Come on, preacher.
You've been talked about.
Yes.
You've been criticized and lied on. Your enemies have started to count you out. But God says, I've heard your prayers. I've heard your cries. It's time for you to get off that floor. It's time for you to dust yourself off. It's time for you to rise up. Time for you to stand with your head held high and your shoulders back. You've been in this battle long enough.
Come on, preacher.
This battle is no longer yours. It's the Lord's.
Yes.
It's time to rise. The enemy has been laughing at what you've been going through. They've been shouting victory at the clouds that have been over your head. But God says, I'm going to bring some rain out of those clouds. And that rain is going to hit that soil. And when it hit that soil, it's going to water those seeds I've planted just for you. Seeds of peace. Seeds of healing. Seeds of deliverance. Seeds of a breakthrough. Seeds of love and of joy. Seeds of prosperity. Seeds of blessings upon blessings. It's time to rise. You've been down too long. The enemy has done all they can do to keep you locked up, chained up, bound up, imprisoned. Every time you try to move forward, they will come along and pull you back. Every time you tried to take a step, they would throw obstacles in your way to make you stumble and fall. But they don't know. With God, when you fall, you get on your knees and you start praying. The enemy don't know. With God, we fall down, but we get up. They've tried to keep you in darkness, reminding you what you used to do, reminding you where you used to go, reminding you how you used to act. Hallelujah. Reminding you where and what you came from. Reminding you where and what you've been through. You ain't nothing. Ain't never been nothing. Will always be nothing. Even your children ain't nothing. But when I look back on my life,
Come on. Tell it, Pastor.
I haven't always done right. But God's goodness and mercy follows me every day of my life. Jesus said, I am the light of the world. He who follows me will not walk in darkness. Let that enemy know you are a follower of the Most High God. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm going to let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. That old enemy, they've been waiting to take you out. They went and bought a suit to wear to your funeral. Practice how they were going to cry at the funeral. Get prepared to lie to folks about how they were always there for you. They had a plan for your end. But God's got a plan for your future. Plans to prosper you. Plans to give you hope. What the devil meant for evil, God has worked it out for your good. It's time to rise. Enemy, quit laughing. Enemy, quit smiling. Enemy, quit thinking you done won. Because God promised he would prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. He's going to anoint my head with oil, and my cup is going to run over. Goodness and mercy is going to follow me all the days of my life. When I'm in my home, goodness and mercy is going to be there. When I'm on my job, goodness and mercy is going to be there. When I'm at the doctor's office, goodness and mercy is going to be there. When I'm in that courtroom, goodness and mercy is going to be there. Everywhere that I go, goodness and mercy is going to be right behind me, You may shoot me with your eyes. You may cut me with your words. Kill me with your hatred. But still, like air, I rise, I rise, I rise, I rise, I rise, I rise. Thank you for joining us today. Please know that we would love to hear from you. You can contact us at www.greaterquentinschurch.com or give us a call at 773-488-2991. And as we always say here at Greater Quentin's Church, tell somebody you love them.